Hello, Ray Wood, Commodore Marathon Yacht Club. This is a how-to video on how to pump your waste tank out on your boat. I'm going to try to give you step-by-step lessons here on how to do it. It's really pretty simple. Follow along. If you got any questions, be sure and call the office. First thing, you come over here to this is the pump out hose, and this is the pump out machine. Be sure and store your tarp over here where it won't get blown away. This is the pump out hose right here, and when we get to the dock, I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. I want to show you one thing before we get out there. This is the housing for our pump, our waste pump. This is the pump out machine. Obviously green is for go and red is for stop. So we're not going to turn it on until we get ready to pump out. We want to leave it off until we completely get done. All right, this is your pump out port. There should be one between every couple of boats. First, remove the cover for it, and then begin unpacking your hose. Unpack the entire hose before you get started. This is the universal fitting that goes on all boats. So you can put this right in here, those flop up, and it's locked in place now. This is exactly how you want to start. Universal port, get your hose out, and I'm gonna walk it down the dock, and then I'm gonna come back and show you how to connect it. All right, this is the end that goes into the port. These ears will have to be open like this as you fit it on there. Fits on there just like that. It's a little bit easier if you lean it that direction when you close these ears. Okay, make sure you get the ears closed nice and tight, like that. Then the next step is you gotta open up these valves. So you open the valves up, the yellow one first and the white one second. Now your valves are opened up and you're ready to pump out. When this handle is in this position, this is closed, and that's how you want it until you get to the port on your boat. I set it here on my boat first, and then I board and I go over to the port where I pump out at, and I'm gonna show you that in a second. But our next step is turning on the pump. So we're gonna walk over here and turn on the pump. We do have a remote service on the cart that the hose is in, but sometimes it's sketchy on the far end. So if you're close by, you can usually use the remote. But I go up here, I like to check on it first, because when I turn it on, the time elapse for me to walk back to my boat gives the hose time to start suction building up, so you're ready to pump out immediately. Let me show you. I'm gonna open the housing door and I'm gonna turn on the pump. That's the green button. I don't know if you can hear it, but the pump is now running. You can hear it when it turns on. Make sure you close the door so the wind doesn't take the housing door off. So just to tell you again, I know it seems crazy to walk all the way back and forth, but again, it gives the vacuum pump time to build up suction through the dock to the hose. Okay, so my port for my pump, my waste pump, is right here. I'm gonna take the lid off, I'm gonna put the hose on there, and when I flip this handle, it's gonna begin the suction. Right here in this housing, it's clear and you can actually see the pump out begin. That's how you know that you're actually pumping out. And when it stops, you'll be able to see that. Then you flip the handle off again. So I wanna put the attachment into the hole right here, and I want to make a nice tight suction. When I'm ready, I always put my foot on it. When you're ready, flip the handle. Right here, you can see the flow. You can see the waste going through the hose. That's how you know it's working. So I got a nice, good, steady flow going through. So hold it just like that. It may take 5 or 10 minutes for you to pump out. Mine's only 40 gallons, so it's relatively quick. Then after we're done, you want to take this and dip it into the seawater, and that flushes the hose out. Very important part, because if you don't do that, the waste builds up in the hose, and the next person either will not be able to pump out, or it'll fall on their feet when they open it open, and nobody wants to have poo all over their feet. So make sure you flush it out with seawater, and I'll show you exactly how that's done. Okay, it's almost done. It'll start burping a little bit like that, chugging when it's almost done. It's got an anti-relax valve in here so it won't go back into your tank. And it's almost done. Okay, it's about to quit. I always leave it for a minute or two more, because I just like to make sure it's all done. All right, when you're done, Very gently break your suction, like this. I go ahead and put my hose port cap back on. Okay, it's just I'm gonna walk by you, so be careful. I'm gonna dip it in the seawater. Now this is what you do. Make sure this is an important part of it. Dip it out here in the seawater, just like that. Dip it in the seawater. Make sure you get a good flush in there. And then hold the hose up so the seawater runs back through it. And then this will be clear, all right? Once you're done, turn the suction off like that, and you're all done pumping out. This is how you put the hose up. It's always simpler if you do it this way. I'm gonna stretch the hose out all the way down the walk and then walk it back and put it on the carriage. First, I'm gonna go turn the pump off. So all I'm gonna do is hit the red button to turn it off completely, and it's all done. All right, you've completed your pump out on the boat. You've washed the hose out. You've got it laying on the dock. Go over here and turn this off. Push the red button and turn the pump completely off. Now you're ready to put everything back up. All right, we're gonna put the hose up now. This is an important part. This is probably the hardest part of the entire situation, is putting this thing up. It's like wrestling an anaconda. Make sure you turn off this handle first, this handle second. Now your pump's off. You can break the seal at this point. Breaking the seal. So now your pump's disconnected. Dip that in and wash any poo off of that. Now you're ready to put the hose up. This is why I stretched the whole hose out, to get some of the twist out of it, because you got to coil it back up on this carriage. One last thing, right here, make sure you put the cap back on the carriage like this, and it's sealed, because that prevents loss of suction for the next guy that's pumping out. Now it's important you go ahead and put this tarp back on here, because this Florida sun wreaks havoc on everything, including our hose. So it helps keep some of the UV out of it. Voila, you're all done. That's all there is. If you got questions, give the office a call. Thank you for watching.